A disturbing discovery at a local church. The house of worship allows its members to come to services armed. But does this church really need all that extra security? Fox 2's Robin Schwartz continues her problem solver investigation.
Last night we told you about this church and a teenage member who walked out on her family. I did some digging and found out Calvary Christian has some unusual policies, especially when it comes to guns. It's Sunday morning and the faithful file into Calvary Christian Church in Royal Oak, including plenty of families with children. But there's something in this picture you can't see. It's an unconventional church policy we uncovered about concealed weapons, and we wondered if the assistant pastor was packing during our interview.
So if you had a gun right now, you wouldn't tell us?
No, I'm not supposed to.
You're not supposed to tell me?
No, it's concealed. It's supposed to remain concealed.
There's no law that says he can't answer my question, but Michigan law does allow people to carry guns to church. It's one pistol-free zone that has an exception. The law leaves it up to church leaders to decide whether they want guns in their building, and Calvary's policy is to allow them.
Michigan says that people have the right to carry concealed weapons. That's the law.
It is the law, but how many churches actually take advantage of it and allow guns to come through their doors? The police chief says none that he knows of.
This is the first and only one that I've ever heard of that is allowing it and encouraging the congregation, the people to come on in and bring their weapons with them.
Almost every deacon and any elder in the church carries a gun to the church every single Sunday.
Dinah Stroich should know. She says she used to carry this Cal-Tech semi-automatic to Calvary. She's the mother of 18-year-old Ashley, who no longer speaks to her parents and is a member of the church against her family's wishes. Dinah says she got the gun when women in the congregation were encouraged to take a concealed weapons course. The church also goes to a shooting range as part of its annual retreat. So Dinah got her permit and then got this letter in the mail inviting her to bring her weapon to all church activities. The letter says she'll be acting as a volunteer for the purpose of church security. It also tells her to keep the letter secret to avoid unnecessary alarm by the congregation.
If it's a concealed weapon, then I wouldn't know if they were carrying one or not.
The assistant pastor has a good point, and it's one more reason the police chief is concerned, especially since a daycare and a school are part of the church complex. Concealed weapons are banned from daycares and schools. The chief says the more guns you have in a confined area, the more likely you are to have a problem.
We've had absolutely no information to indicate that this is a location where they need to have this heightened level of involvement with weapons in their facility.
Calvary's pastor, Mark Byers, refused to talk to us on camera about the gun policy. And even he has been seen carrying a weapon while he's conducting services. In fact, the pastor once dropped his gun right in front of the whole congregation. The pastor told me by phone he was armed that day because he was in fear of a congregant, David Smith. His name might ring a bell because Smith sued the pastor and the church after Pastor Byers got on the pulpit and told everyone Smith confessed to sleeping with prostitutes. Smith accused the pastor of intentionally inflicting emotional distress. The pastor said this was the church's way of punishing an unrepentant member. Smith lost the lawsuit on appeal, and that was several years ago. So why the need for all the security now? We wanted to ask that question, but the assistant pastor got a little gun-shy when we pressed him for answers.
No, I'm sorry. This interview's over. You can leave now. Thank you. You're trying to make a story when there is no story. I'm sorry.
And we never did get a clear answer about why they favor carrying guns in church. They seem to do it simply because they can. Huel and Monica?
All right, thank you, Robin. Yes, there is a story when people of faith carry guns inside a house of worship. No question about it. Still to come, a pop star.